Welcome to Everything Money. We bring you this third video from our interview with Mohnish Pabrai. We talk about a very highly requested subject, China, Chinese stocks, and his thoughts on Alibaba and Tencent, where they're headed and where they're going. You guys were asked for this, so we straight up asked him this question, and stay tuned. It's incredible.
I have to ask this because our community's been asking me to ask you for months. One of our biggest convictions nowadays is Alibaba, and you made waves recently by selling a larger position of yours. So I know you probably don't talk about some of your current holdings. A lot of people think it's Tencent, but can you give us and our viewers who this is one of our favorite stocks, we think it's incredibly undervalued, your thoughts on Alibaba currently in the Chinese situation now?
Yeah, I mean, I think one thing to keep in mind about investing in general is there's very strong signal value when someone buys something. Yeah. There is very weak signal value when someone sells something. So in general, if we are looking at Buffett's portfolio and we see that he bought something, that is very important to pay attention to. But when he sells something, that is not as relevant because we buy things only for one reason. Okay? We buy things to make money.
Yeah.
Okay.
We sell things.
We sell things for 100 reasons.
Many
okay.
reasons.
So in the case of Alibaba, one of the reasons I sold Alibaba was for tax loss harvesting. Okay. And there were actually two reasons why we sold Alibaba. Probably more than two, but two are at least enough to justify it. Is that I had studied and learned about Tencent and Prosus after we had made the Alibaba investment. And after we made the Alibaba investment, the stock went down and Prosus and Tencent also went down, but we hadn't invested in it yet. And it was really simple. If I sold Alibaba, we got the tax loss harvest. And one of the problems with tax loss harvesting is you can buy back the same security after 30 days.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And in the 30 days, it can move. So it can move against you. So you might have bought a stock at 250 and you might have sold it at 180, let's say, with the idea in 30 days, I'll buy it back. But if it goes to 220 in 30 days, that's not and it's hard to control that.
Right.
What I did with the Tencent Alibaba deal was I sold Alibaba. I moved the proceeds to Prosus. Not Tencent, because Prosus is even better than Tencent. And I never needed to buy Alibaba back again because I thought the Tencent business was superior to the Alibaba business. So it was killing multiple birds with one stone, where I'm moving from a business that's good to a business that's even better. I get the tax loss harvest, and I would have been willing to buy Prosus at the higher price. I still got it at a lower price, so it's all okay.
What do you think normal investors are missing? I feel like you've been very adamant about Tencent, but I feel like the FOMO is, I feel like I'm missing something. We've gone over on our show, all the divisions they have, all the different branches of that company. For a dummy like me, what are normal investors you think might be missing out or not learning about Tencent?
Yeah, I think Tencent is, it's a mystery because they don't really explain the business. And the reason they don't explain the business is because they don't really want attention. They don't want competitors to understand the mousetrap they have. They definitely don't want governments to understand it. They really don't want anyone to understand it. They just want to be in stealth mode. And a lot of businesses are like that. Amazon was like that with AWS. And when the whale finally surfaced, they instantly attracted two large competitors who are going at it, head to head with them. And so Tencent wants to basically, I can understand why they don't want to talk about it because, and this is the case with many businesses, even the one in Turkey. I think one of the reasons they don't talk about it is they feel they would just attract other people into the field that they're really not looking to have attractions to. So if they have a great rail business, they just want to keep it to themselves. They just don't see any upside. And a lot of companies do that. A lot of companies have a kind of a balancing act between what the SEC requires and what disclosures they want to make because all the competitors are reading all their annual reports and all of that. So in the case of Tencent, I was able to figure out their business and what it's all about really because of comments that Koos Becker at Naspers made. So he's been an investor for Tencent for a long time. So Tencent is really simple. At the end of the day, they have two businesses. Okay, they have an army of software engineers, and this army of software engineers is incredible, and it's a very high-powered army, and they can produce a wide range of things which are very valuable in this digital economy that we're in. They've chosen in the past to direct that army towards video games, messaging, now with AI and with cloud and so on. They've, put it into a few areas, but they can really direct that army anywhere they want, right? And when Tencent puts money into its digital army, historically they've generated 65% annualized returns on that investment, which is easy to understand because it's a bunch of software. If you put out a video game and suddenly 1 billion people are using it, you're going to make a killing on that, right? I mean, then your ROE is going to be through the roof. The problem with that business is that it cannot use the capital it generates. So it's like the MasterCard or Visa or Amex problem. These engines generate a lot of cash, or like Google search engine generates a lot of cash, cannot use it. And so Tencent basically, every $1 billion they spend allows them to hire about 4,000 software engineers. Once you get to hiring 10, 20, 25,000 software engineers net in a year, net of the attrition, you start running out of places to hire them from. I mean, 25,000 software engineers would be like 100 a day. You'd be hiring 100 a day every single day, okay?
Yeah.
And to hire 100 a day, like interviewing 1,000 a day.
Yeah.
Okay, good luck with that.
Right.
Okay.
Even in a country like China.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, in a country like India, the elite schools that produce engineers, I mean, we produce maybe 25, 30, 40, 50,000 engineers a year. And by the time you get to the 50,000 engineer, he's pretty much useless.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, the first 10, 15, 20,000 are really good. But then when you go to the 40 or 50,000, 60,000 engineer, you're scraping the bottom of the barrel. And these are engineers in all fields,
right,
including civil engineers and, environmental engineers and all of that. So it's not just software people. So to actually get software engineers at that size is not easy. So Tencent puts money into their engineering as much as they can. And then they, of course, have to figure out how they fire that bazooka, how do they use that, right? And when he cannot use that money anymore, then he takes the rest of it and sends it to his second engine, which is the second bazooka, which is investing in early stage businesses and private deals and other things on the investing side. And there they have a really good track record. They've historically done about 35% a year, which is exceptional. It's an exceptional record. And that engine has been able to use everything they've produced, which the other companies are not able to do. So there are only two companies out of all the large tech giants who are really good at capital allocation. And one is Amazon and the other is Tencent. And Amazon is not as good as Tencent because they put a lot of money into non-digital businesses. So Tencent only wants to put money into software guys, nothing else. And they know when they put money into software guys and they can get some really good guys, they can hit it out of the park, right? I mean, like, if you look at WeChat, probably a team of no more than 20, 30 people built it.
Yeah.
And it's so ubiquitous, right? And so Alibaba is not as digital as Tencent. Alibaba's capital allocation engine is more sporadic. It's more ad hoc. It's like kind of like Microsoft or Google, where they have a lot of cash. Once in a while, some deal comes up, they do it. Tencent doesn't work like that. Tencent deliberately takes all the cash they generate and pumps it out. Right. So I think that if you have a redeployment engine which Microsoft doesn't have, Google doesn't have, and most tech businesses don't have. It gives you a huge edge. So for me, it was, I preferred that bet. And so I made the switch. And I wish I'd been more aggressive with that switch.
Do you own the shares here in the US or do you own them internationally?
Process, I don't think trades in the US.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. The reason we created the software was exactly for this, because people watch the videos, want to do their own analysis when they see me do this. So we created the software so people could do this. You get everything you see here on the Everything Money channel, on the Everything Money page, all our tools, plus all the ones coming up. You get over 30 years of financial data. You get access to Seth Mo and I. You get all the 8-pillar analysis, that stock analyzer tool, real estate calculator, retirement calculator, 8-pillar portfolio. We can put in 50 stocks at once. It tells you how they all look as a portfolio. All of this plus exclusive daily content. We have 1, 2, 3 videos a day that we release only to our users of our software. You get it all in mobile form. All of this is available on your mobile app, all for only 90 cents per day. 90 cents per day. If you can increase your returns or decrease your losses by 1 or 2% a year, that could lead to hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars in extra net worth for only 90 cents a day. 2 ways to sign up, everythingmoney.com or Patreon. The benefit of everythingmoney.com directly is you don't pay sales tax yet because we're not big enough. So sign up, only 90 cents a day. This is a no-brainer, less than a cup of coffee.